So if they give you the slope and the y-intercept, you don't need the point slope form. All you need is the y-intercept form, and you can just plug it right in. Okay, so since the slope and y-intercept are given, we just plug it in. We'll plug them in. Okay, so we know that y is equal to mx plus b. We know already this is your slope. This is your y-intercept, where it's just 0b. Okay, so they already gave us everything we need. They say our slope is equal to -1. Uh-oh. So slope is equal to -1. So that means your m is equal to -1. Bring that up a little. And if our y-intercept is 0, -3, remember, our y-intercept is just 0 and whatever b is. So if our y-intercept is 0, -3, that just means that b is equal to -3. So all we have to do is just plug those two in there, and we're done. So y is equal to -1 times x, or you can just put -x, plus -3, or you can just put -3. I'll just rewrite it both ways. Actually, let me put that as -1. And again, you don't have to write it this way. This is just me plugging in everything. Or you can write it as y equals -x minus 3. Okay, so when you get one like that one, you don't need the point slope form. They gave you everything you need to find your equation. All right, I'll leave that up for a few more seconds. Excuse me. All right, so what if we had one? Oh, anyone's still writing? Oh, looks like everyone's done. But now, what if we had one that said, find an equation of the line with slope -2 that passes through the point. -1,5. Okay, well, if we want to write the answer, or write the equation rather, it's not really the answer. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. And you want it in standard form. And standard form is just bringing all the variables to one side. So if you have, let's say, ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are just numbers. So it could be 2x plus 3y equals 7, something like that. And slope-intercept form is just y equals mx plus b. So for one, you're going to solve for y, and for the other, you're going to just leave everything, all the variables on the left. Okay. Now with this one, they gave us the slope, which is always good, but they did not give us the y-intercept. So we can't just plug it in and put it in y-intercept form. So whenever they give you the slope and a point, that's when you use the point slope form. So what's given to us is that the slope is equal to -2. So that automatically let us know that m is equal to -2. They also gave us a point, which is -1, 5. Okay. So if you remember your point slope form, it's y minus y1, ooh, bless you, equals m times x minus x1. Or you can make y equals y1 plus m times x minus x1. Either one works. Okay. So we know that if this is our point, all we have to do is make that our x1, y1. Because we only have one point, so x1, and make that our y1. Okay, so that means, kind of separate that a little bit, our y minus y1 becomes y minus 5 equals our slope, so our m is -2, so we go ahead and plug that in, times x minus x1. So x minus, our x1 is -1. Okay. Now once you plug everything in, then you simplify it. Okay, so we can go ahead and simplify that a little more. So y minus 5 equals -2. X minus negative is just x plus 1. All right, and from there, we can just distribute the -2. Okay, so once we distribute that -2, we have y minus 5 equals -2x. -2 times +1 is -2. Okay. Then from there, you just solve for y. Okay, so on this one, we just plug in the slope and your x1, y1. Okay, so if we add 5 to both sides here, we have y equals -2x. And -2 plus 5 is +3. Okay, so we were able to come up with our equation just knowing our slope and one of our points. Okay, so we solve for y here, so this is our slope intercept. Form. Okay. So to get our standard form, I'll do that right on the side. So y equals -2x plus 3. If we add 2x to both sides, you have 2x plus y equals 3. And this is your standard form. Okay. That's really the only difference between the two. All right. So any questions on that one? All right, we'll do another example. I think everyone's done writing. Okay. So let's say if we wanted to find an equation of a line with a slope, and I'll say a slope of 5. And through the point, say -7, -10. Okay. We want to write it in standard and y-intercept form. Y-intercept and standard form. Okay, so just like before, we know what was given to us. Okay. We know our slope is equal to 5, which means that our m is equal to 5. Okay. And they gave us 1 point, which is -7, -10.